Right now, coming your way are the Spurs and Victor Wembanyama in Game 3 as the series shifts to Minnesota. 0-4 record, though, in Minnesota against the Timberwolves. Would that change? Wemby, the defense was incredible. I mean, it always is, baseline to baseline. One of 5 blocks on the night for Victor Wembanyama. Was he better defensively or was he better offensively in this game? Answer, yes. Push. Wembanyama on the court, 2 of 14 were the Timberwolves. When he was off the court, that's when they were actually making shots. The bulk of the shot making was Anthony Edwards. Triple, got it. The only player on the Timberwolves to go above 20 points scoring. He was actually north of 30 points, and he needed every single one of them. This just before the end of the first quarter. Got it. Deficit is 1 for the Timberwolves. And how about Anthony Edwards, man? This guy is a throwback. A hyperextended knee about 2 weeks ago, but he is back to full strength. The number 1 overall pick's just battling it out. Wemby, though, taking things over in the fourth. Up a half dozen. Let's make that 8 thanks to the offensive rebound. Then 9 minutes to go. Oh, yeah, you didn't know Victor Wembanyama also had range? Wemby for 3, or as they say in France, Wemby for 3. And then he gets another one. He shot 70% from the field. The Spurs win Game 3. They're up 2-1 in the series. Quentin Richardson on the program, joining us now. Q, Victor Wembanyama, Hakeem, Shaq, and Kareem, the only ones since blocks became official in 1973 to have 35 points, 15 boards, and 5 blocks in a playoff game. You watch what Wemby is doing, and he's still rounding into form, but you're seeing what he's doing already, and you think what?
I think to answer your question, in another year or so, it will be unfair to have Wembanyama on your team. Like what he's becoming so quickly, like we saw him come in, this rail thin kid with so much potential, and we watched him in 1-2 years just take huge, not strides, but leaps every year and getting better with his offensive game, with his defensive game, with his mentality, filling out his body, getting stronger. It's literally nothing he can't do out there on the court. So it's just a matter of time before all things continue to line up and he gets to such a powerful strength that like he's literally running around there like Thanos and nobody can do anything about it.
It's funny you mention that because he's still lanky and he's still just a kid. And after last night's win, he said, you know, the Spurs collectively, we haven't even tapped into half of our potential. That is scary. All right, let's go to the Eastern Conference side of things. The Knicks look like they have this series figured out and wrapped up. So we're going to ask the question, what chances are you giving the Knicks of winning the championship this year?
Listen, I love the way the Knicks look right now. I feel like this is one of the greatest opportunities for them to get the win. But, like, I definitely feel like this 76ers series is a foregone conclusion. But before I go crown Knicks the king of the East, and yes, I am once a Knick, always a Knick, it's a team over there in Detroit that's looking pretty damn scary. And Gary, let's just think about this. This season, when the Knicks played those Pistons, there's possibly going to be waiting for them. They beat them by 31, 38, and 15. So while the Knicks definitely look different than I feel like they looked earlier in that season, they playing different ball. And I still got a lot of faith in the Knicks. I got to see them do it against those Pistons before I just give that title to them.
Listen, man, credit to where it's due. The Knicks, they are cohesive, they're having fun, and they are playing some darn good basketball. ESPN projections give them a 20% chance to win it all. Second only to the defending champ Thunder, 45% chance to win it. QR hanging out with us all morning long. Q, much appreciated.
Lakers looking for the equalizer. The Lakers offense is exactly what it needs to be right now. Put it up near the rim and put down by James. The Lakers in front. Holmgren powers in, gets it to go. This is Thunder basketball. Williams, he's got a chance for 4. The turnovers have just killed them.
Usually the team that imposes their will more just wins. And that's probably why we won tonight.
Oh, no, the Thunder are good and they're cocky. Quentin Richardson is back as promised. We scan the NBA for the best stories. It's time for the QR code. Q, let's start there. The code the Lakers must live by if they have a chance to win Game 3. What is it?
No doubt. Obviously, they need another big time scoring game from A.R. Reeves like that. He came out, led them, and he looked like the Austin Reeves from the season. They could use another game like that for sure. Still need LeBron to be LeBron like he's consistently been. But I look at the others, man. You need big games from Rui, from Luke Kennard, from Marcus Smart. You need them to chip in big ways. And you need Ayton to have some type of presence offensively. He's done better on the boards, but he needs to do something offensively. And lastly, their defense needs to be on point. The doubling, the way that they're having SGA struggle, and he's been okay, but he has not been SGA this series. So you got to take your hat off to JJ and the staff, and actually the players for executing the scheme they came up with, but they got to keep that defense up.
But scary to see that the Thunder continue to win when SGA doesn't have to go full Voltron. He only played 28 minutes
Yes.
last game in a Thunder win. All right, the early one today is the Pistons taking on the Cavs. Detroit, they were down, it feels so long ago, 3-1 to Orlando. They've won 5 straight since. In your eyes, Q, what changed?
I feel like when they got to the brink of elimination, 3-1, the Magic had them on the ropes, and they saw their season's mortality on the line. I feel like since that moment, they played with a greater sense of urgency as a team overall. Their defense have stepped up. The guys have stepped up individually, offensively. Cade Cunningham has been the one constant, but also now you have Tobias Harris. And salute to Tobias, man. I was in Detroit for his first stint before he left, and he came back for this stint. Professional, perfect pro, and just to see him doing what he's doing is awesome, man. He's had 7 straight games of 20-plus points, and he's become the second guy on this team. And right now, in this Cavs-Pistons series, Tobias is the 3rd best player in the series by production after Cade and Donovan, and that says a lot.
The Pistons up 2-0 in the series, though the Cavs, because it's in Cleveland, favored by 4.5 points today. We'll see how that plays out. Quentin Richardson joining the program on Sportscenter. Q, thanks.
No doubt.
And before you make a play today, we got to hear from Aaron Dolan on SportsCenter. EKD, what's the move in the Pistons and Cavs?
So I'm looking at Cade Cunningham to go under 27.5 points. He's averaged 24 points so far through those first 2 wins, but Cleveland hasn't necessarily allowed him to go off the way that we saw against Orlando in the previous round. And a lot of that came down to the fact that they were in a hole, and towards the end of that series, he really had to put up 30-plus point performances. He's not in that same situation today. They are up 2 games with this series heading to Cleveland, and Cleveland's a place where they've won every single game at home so far in this postseason. So when we look at his points prop, we've seen it as low as 26.5, as high as 28.5. So this is right there in the middle, but I'm going to go under on Cade today of 27.5.
Yeah, he's been right at 25 a couple of times. All right, let's go out west. The Thunder, 8.5-point favorites against this Lakers team. It's a lot on the road in LA. How are you approaching this one?
It's a big adjustment in terms of the spread, but I would still lay the 8.5 points. I think there's value there. If you look at the last 2 games, I mean, they were laying 15.5 points, 16.5 points, and they won both of those games and also covered the big digit spread. And on top of that, if you just go back to last game, I mean, the Lakers, they pulled it close within that 4th quarter. They were within 5 points, and still OKC won and covered. They are outmatched in every single category. That is the Lakers. But I just think that even though this is at 8.5 on the road, that's one of those spreads that I would lay because OKC is just a way better team.
Average margin of victory in the regular season was 29 points per game. All right, OKC has just been scoring at will. Aaron, how can we get in on that fun?
I'm looking at SGA to go over 29.5 points. I've been backing this guy up over the last 2 games, so eventually I feel like he's going to have a big scoring performance. But he struggled. We're not going to come on here and say that he hasn't so far. I mean, 18 points in game 1, 22 in game 2, but he's not a bad scorer by any stretch of the imagination. And last game, obviously, he got into some foul trouble. So knowing that this has been adjusted actually up from what we saw in game 2, eventually SGA will have a big scoring performance. And considering I like them and laying the 8.5 points, I'll take him to over 29.5 today.
Yeah, staying out of foul trouble ski. SGA's only visit to the Lakers this season. He put up 25 points in 28 minutes. Aaron Dolan, thank you.